Hey guys, it's Matt here. Lately I've been reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And like every other book that I read, I like to dedicate an entire week only to focus on this book. I like to go to my favorite reading place for an hour or two every day and actually contemplate on the lessons from the book. I don't really believe in all of that trend that's going on of reading a book a day, speed reading, and playing audiobooks at twice the speed just to get the knowledge in as fast as possible. For me, it sounds more like an ego boost than actual learning. But hey, that's just me. If it works for you, then continue doing it. The book had a lot of valuable lessons that actually made me think about my life and the meaning behind everything. Reading the book was such a powerful experience that I wanted to make a video about it. So Viktor Frankl was a Jewish psychiatrist who was a prisoner in Auschwitz concentration camp during World War II. Viktor shares truly horrific stories from his day-to-day life at camp. People dropping dead everywhere around him. His entire family was killed. Many hours of hard labor in the cold of Poland. Living basically out of one bowl of soup a day and constant torture from the Nazis. And this went on for years, by the way. Despite all of that, Viktor was able not only to survive, but actually find meaning in suffering. And he shares in the book how he was able to do that. This brings me to the first lesson I took from the book, which is the importance of meaning. Viktor shared that he was able to tell when someone in the camp lost hope, and how since that guy lost hope, how it was only a matter of time for him until he died. Viktor shares a story about one prisoner that instead of trading the cigarettes that he worked so hard for in the freezing cold for soup, he chose to smoke them. And it was obvious for Viktor that this guy lost hope and it was only a matter of time for him. And in fact, in 24 hours, he was found dead. This goes to show how important meaning is, and no matter what you find meaning in, a strong why can take you through any suffering. Viktor's why was that he imagined himself giving lectures in front of large audiences about the horrors that he went through in camp. That is the image Viktor held in his mind for the reason that he is suffering. And that gave him hope to continue every day. He actually said it best. Suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds meaning. So what we can learn from this is to clearly define what you are living for. Take time to contemplate why you are here on this planet. What is it you want out of life? Find your meaning and you will bear any struggle coming your way. The second lesson I took from the book is something that I already talked about here on this channel, but I can't stress it enough. You, at any time in your life, have the power to control your attitude. You don't control what happens to you, but you do control how you respond to it. To give an example from the book, one day Viktor Frankl was seriously sick. He was unable to work, so he was sent to a hut where they treated sick prisoners. As he was laying there with 70 other prisoners, crammed in a tiny room, waiting for their daily soup distribution, he couldn't help but think how lucky he is to be sick and not have to work in the freezing cold. Despite being sick and laying with 5 other prisoners in the same bed, despite the horrible starvation and hard conditions, he still found reasons to be happy. And my favorite quote from the book is, "One of our greatest freedoms is the freedom to choose our attitude." You have the freedom to choose your attitude in any point in life. External forces don't control your attitude, only you do. The last lesson I want to share with you guys from the book is don't focus on things outside of your control. One day in the concentration camp, Viktor Frankl talked to one of his fellow inmates about the meaning behind their suffering. This inmate told Viktor that one night he had a dream that the war would be over by March 30th. It was the beginning of March when they had this conversation. And Viktor says that as the day drew closer and the war didn't seem to come to an end, this inmate lost hope. On March 29th, this inmate became ill and had high fever. On March 30th, when this inmate believed the war to be over, he died. What we can learn from this is to never cling on something that's beyond our control. Once you focus on something that's outside your control, you give your destiny to an external force. Instead, focus on something you can control and find hope in that. Ask yourself, what can you focus on in your life that you have complete control over? For example, I didn't set a goal with this channel to hit a certain amount of subscribers or views by a specific date, since I can't control that. What I can control is to provide as much value as I can in each video. to provide tools that would help people change their life and to improve in every video that I can control. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed and gained value from it, please press the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Button, subscribe, and I will see you
Next time.
in the next video.